Good evening, guys. Happy Saturday, August 15th. This is Set Fire to Your Purpose, final installation where I'll be going over definitions for your cube, your horse, your ladder, your flowers, and your storm. We're going to start with the cube because that is the main focus. Essentially, if you guys hadn't seen the previous video, the cube is how you perceive yourself. And if you remember, my cube was a transparent cube, pretty tall, taller than the horse. Couldn't tell if the horse was inside the cube or behind the cube, with a mountain range in the background. In the foreground, like I had already passed through, like a light rainstorm. My horse was a palomino. The ladder was a construction ladder. And the flowers were all over the place. So we'll go through the definitions. I'm just going to give a slow pan and scan of the definitions for the cube, just so you guys can do your own definitions at home. So if your cube is, then you are. If the cube is above the horizon, they consider you idealistic, intellectual, spiritual, a dreamer. If it's in the air, open, undefended, well-effacing, subtle, practical, worldly. Let's see, we got serene. I'll let you guys read through them just because I'm doing this through the smartphone here. And then, let's see, 2 more full pages of definitions for the cube. You can read through there. And you see the definitions, like if it's large, if it's hovering, if it's in a house, if it's a hologram. Go. And I guess you guys can pause the video while you're going through it if you want a better look at the definitions. And so that's the cube. And one more last page for the cube. Let's do this. And this is for your ladder. Not as many definitions for the ladder, but remember the ladder is supposed to be representing your friends. And if there's a lot of rungs, that means you have a lot of friends. If it's a certain type of ladder, it'll tell you what type you are or how you see yourself for your friends. Okay. Lastly, one more last page for the ladder. And then on to the next, this is the horse. Now this could be any type of horse. That's why I said try to get as many details as you can, because that'll give you a more defined view of how you see your prospective other, because that's what your horse is. Your horse is your lover or the love of your life. And the love of your life could be, you know, just a passion. Like when I first did it, I didn't have a romantic interest. This was like, I don't know, when I was 17 or 18 at the Hub Cafe in Rochester off of Monroe Ave. It's not there anymore. And then we got the storm. And I'll just kind of read this one out. My storm, we had already passed through. So I view my troubles as in my past. Rain, wind. There was wind. A spiritual crisis, stressful, upsetting routines, chaotic. But yeah, I could say that was all true for the troubles. Rainstorm. An emotional crisis bringing tears, dampening your spirits, depressing, breaking with tension, necessary for growth. Now, that could mean two of my best friends passed away early in the year. Just had two friends pass away. One actually a couple days ago. Still have to find out when the services are for her. But yeah, it was pretty rough. And this would be your flowers. And it looks like they've got a couple extra ones in here. Under the horse, which is your flowers were your children. Or children in your life. And if the flowers were under the horse, that means they were protected by your lover. Foreground, let's see. Inside the cube, no, mine were all over the place. Many kids, your life's work, other people's kids. Ah, there we go. Other people's kids. Yeah, I like taking care of my brother's kids. So that's that on the cube. If anybody wants to borrow it and do it again and get other definitions, I mean, it's pretty cool. You get to see other people's versions of the cube, and it tells you who and whatnot. There's one in here from Johnny Depp, which is pretty cool. A lot of people don't know this, but back in the day, my best friend, we went to Colorado right after a little trial and error in college, and we were trying to do it right out of high school, but we ended up going out there, and lack of a better plan, not enough funds, support, family support kind of fell out a little bit, so we were in Boulder, and I was just about to get a job at Beatnik Bagels, and my buddy's like, you know what, I screwed up in college, and I got to go back and figure things out. But in the interim of this happening, we found out that they were doing a William Burroughs read in San Francisco. So he decided to go with our friend to San Francisco for the William Burroughs read, and go figure, it was a tribute to William Burroughs. It wasn't William Burroughs actually doing his final read, but he ended up meeting Johnny Depp. Pretty cool. At any rate, so another thing I wanted to go through was a big fan. How much of a big fan I am of Zig Ziglar. I just finished reading this book, Embrace the Struggle, and this guy's got a profound story. So I definitely recommend it as far as reading quality. And he's definitely a motivational speaker. The other book that I had mentioned in previous videos was the book Flourish by Martin Seligman, and definitely recommend that book as well. But I also wanted to touch base on previously in the week I was mentioning there we go. I was mentioning how you should make a checklist, and you should do what you can to knock out that checklist in the day, and this is what I had on deck for the day, and it was pretty productive. I got through a majority of it. You could see some funny ones, but I mean, you see how it really doesn't have to be that serious. Number 9, I've got call or text mom. Number 8, play dance monkey and dance. But I got chores. I got my 7-minute workout. I got 2 more of those to do. I was basically focusing on cutting off distractions today because it's a Saturday and a lot of crazy things can happen on the weekends, but I had to stay focused on my path. And yeah, so it could be as easy as that, but just put it in front of your face and change it every day, and make sure that you're working on it. You're working on yourself. Motivation doesn't, it's not something that's going to last. And Zig Ziglar actually, one of his quotes is, of course, motivation isn't something that's going to last. It's like bathing. Um, you wash yourself, you're going to have to do it again. It's something you got to practice daily. Motivation, you got to work on that daily. You got to stay on point and be positive, and check yourself when you catch yourself being negative. I hope this was helpful, guys. For me, this is just another channel for you guys to use, for addressing the stresses that are going on, and just me personally, what I do to handle the stresses of life. I also do painting. I mean, you guys have seen all my stuff. I'm not going to go running around the room, but that's my that was actually one of my that was one of my chores today. I got to get one of my paintings done today. I think my cousin will like it. But at any rate, love you guys. Appreciate you. If you like this content, please hit that like button. If you have any comments or questions, put those down below. Subscribe to my channel if you like seeing my updates. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. And just remember, relaxing is a key point of this as well. Getting your stress out and just kind of, meditating or doing something creative that's outside of your daily regiment that, gets you on the negative point. You got to stay positive. Create something new, something beautiful. I love you guys, appreciate you, and we'll be talking soon.